You wake up, you have your coffee, and by 10 in the morning, you already feel like you could crawl back into bed. You walk up a single flight of stairs, and your legs turn heavy, your chest goes tight, and you have to stop at the top just to catch your breath. And the strangest part of all, you went to your doctor, they ran the blood work, and everything came back normal. Normal cholesterol, normal blood sugar, normal thyroid. So they smiled and told you the one thing every person over 50 has heard at least once: you are just getting older. My friend, I have spent more than 25 years watching that explanation fail good people, and I want to tell you the truth today. That heavy, drained, running on empty feeling has a real cause. It sits far deeper than anything a standard blood panel can measure. It lives inside the tiny engines that power every single cell in your body, and once you understand what is happening down there, everything about how you feel is going to start making sense. I'm Dr. Karl Reinhardt, an integrative and functional medicine physician with more than 25 years of experience helping adults over 50 like you regain their energy, performance, and vitality. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Before we go any further, if you're serious about your energy, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I share real information backed by real science for adults over 50 just like you. And if this topic matters to you, type 1 in the comments and tell me where in the world you're watching from. If not, type 0 so I know how to help you better next time I read the comments. Now let's get into it. Before we go deeper, let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You sleep a full 8 hours and still wake up tired. You lose your train of thought right in the middle of a sentence. You used to bounce back from a long day, and now a single long day cost you the entire weekend. You feel like the same person on the inside, but your body simply will not answer the way it used to. If you are nodding along right now, I want you to hear me clearly. This is not laziness, and it is not weakness, and it is certainly not all in your head. There is real biology behind it, and we are about to walk through it together, so let me take you inside one of your cells. Picture your body as a house with billions of rooms, and inside almost every room sits a small furnace. Scientists call these furnaces mitochondria, and their entire job is to take the food you eat and the air you breathe and turn them into usable energy. That energy even has a name, ATP, and it is the fuel that runs your heart, your muscles, and your brain every second of every day. Now here is the part that really matters. Inside each furnace, there is a production line, a chain of workers passing tiny electrons down the line, one to the next, step by step. Researchers call it the electron transport chain, and this is where the real work happens, because the steady flow of those electrons is what actually creates your energy. When that line runs smoothly, you feel strong, clear, and awake. When it slows down, you feel exactly the way I described at the very start of this video. And here is what the science now shows us. As we age, that production line slows down. A large scientific review published in 2025 in the journal Signal Transduction and Targeted Therapy laid it out in plain terms. With age, the function of the electron transport chain gradually declines, and the efficiency of energy production falls right along with it. The activity of the first workers on that line, the ones scientists label complex 1 and complex 2, measurably decreases as the years go by. And this has been seen not only in humans, but across mice, rats, and monkeys, studied all the way from youth into old age. This is one of the most consistent findings in the entire science of aging. But it gets more specific than that, and this is where it truly hits home. In older cells, the furnace loses some of its charge. Think of it like a battery that can no longer hold a full voltage. That drop in charge, what scientists call membrane potential, means the whole system produces less fuel for the same amount of effort. On top of that, the aging furnace begins to leak. Some of the energy that should have become clean fuel escapes as heat and waste instead. And that waste is not harmless. It comes out as reactive oxygen species, a kind of internal rust, and that rust damages the very machinery that produced it, which makes the next batch of energy even harder to make. It becomes a slow, quiet, downward spiral, turning year after year. Now think about which parts of your body burn the most energy. Your muscles, your heart, your brain, those are the tissues packed with the most furnaces, which is exactly why they are hit the hardest when the furnaces begin to falter. That is why the fatigue after 50 shows up the way it does. As heavy legs on the staircase, as a foggy, sluggish afternoon at your desk, as needing 2 full days to recover from something that used to take you 2 hours. And that, my friend, is the answer to the question that has probably frustrated you for years. Why does the blood work keep coming back normal? Because a standard blood test was never built to measure how well your mitochondria are actually producing energy. It checks the fuel sitting in the tank. It does not check the engine. Your engine can be running at half its old capacity, while every number on that page looks perfectly, reassuringly fine. If you're finding this valuable, take 1 second and subscribe. It genuinely helps the channel reach more people who need this. Okay? Here's the part most people never hear. For decades, almost everything aimed at fatigue has tried to work around the real problem. More caffeine to whip a tired system into moving. More sugar for a fast spike and an even harder crash. Even most supplements simply try to mop up that internal rust long after the damage is already done. But in research laboratories, scientists have been studying something that works in a completely different way, and most people have never even heard of it. It is a compound called methylene blue. And I am going to be careful and completely honest with you about it because this is exactly the kind of topic where the internet gets very loud and the real facts get lost. Here is what makes it so interesting to researchers. Remember that production line of workers passing electrons down the chain. When some of those workers are damaged and slow, methylene blue can step in and act as a kind of substitute courier. It picks up the electrons itself and carries them past the broken sections of the line, helping keep the whole flow moving. In laboratory studies, this has been shown to raise the activity of the energy machinery and to support ATP production inside stressed cells. A handful of small human trials using brain imaging have even reported improvements in memory and in blood flow to the front of the brain when very low doses were used. So it is genuinely fascinating, and the mechanism behind it is real. But now I have to be the doctor in the room with you, because the reason almost no one talks about this properly is that it is very easy to get wrong, and getting it wrong can be dangerous. Methylene blue is not a casual supplement off the health store shelf. It is a pharmaceutical that has been used in medicine for well over a century, and it comes with serious cautions. It behaves very differently at different doses. A small amount may support the system, while a larger amount flips around and starts harming the very cells you were trying to help. It also interacts dangerously with a whole class of extremely common medications, including many antidepressants such as the SSRIs and SNRIs. Combining them can trigger a serious, even life-threatening reaction called serotonin syndrome. And that matters enormously for our age group because so many adults over 50 take exactly those medications every single day. On top of all that, people with a genetic condition called G6PD deficiency should never take it at all. And the cheap industrial version sold as a fabric or aquarium dye is contaminated and never ever fit for a human being. So please hear me clearly on this. I am not telling you to run out and buy anything. I am telling you that it exists, that the science behind it is real and worth watching closely, and that if it ever interests you, it is something to explore only with a knowledgeable doctor who knows your complete medication list. Never something to experiment with on your own? That honest caution is the exact thing the hype channels leave out, and it is the exact reason you can trust what you hear right here. Because here is the bigger truth I want you to carry with you when this video ends. Your fatigue is a signal, not a sentence. The energy system inside your cells can be supported, it can be protected, and it can even be rebuilt. And across this series, I'm going to show you exactly how, one careful step at a time. Next in the Energy House, I am going to reveal what is silently destroying your cellular energy after 50, including one extremely common everyday medication that may be quietly draining the very furnaces we talked about today. You will not want to miss that one, so make sure you are subscribed. Take care of your energy house, and it will take care of you. This channel is for education, not medical advice, so always talk to your own doctor before changing anything. I'll see you in the next one.